I don't know what the best format here is, but I guess we can give a quick overview of FOMO. I don't know if you want to take that, Paul.
Yeah, sure. FOMO is a mobile trading app on iOS and in Google Play Store. You could just log on in a few seconds with Apple ID or Google ID and access to hopefully eventually every financial asset on chain. Currently, it has one balance, and you could access instantaneous swaps on Solana-based tokens and BNB. And it has a social layer, which is really fundamental to the discovery process on FOMO. So you come onto the app, you can even see it here, where you see little like circles with some of the people you follow. I think, yeah, the most fundamental thing here is that the central feature is this social layer in which you get full transparency discovery, which is the whole ethos of crypto. And I think inherently we've had to like hunt on block explorers and track transactions that way, but it's been really hard to discover things in like an easy, intuitive way. So FOMO is just like an intuitive way to trade where you could track and discover new assets and follow top traders. And I think like maybe best like go through some of the ways you can discover new tokens. So starting with home. So on the home page, we have a few different categories. The one for new users, it kind of lands on verified because a lot of these users that use the app for the first time are net new users to crypto. So if you go to verified, yeah, you could see like some of the coins that you'd recognize, right? BTC, ETH, Sol, BNB, and you go down these assets. But right now, trading is definitely skewed more towards attention-based assets. I think over time, the hold periods will become much longer, especially like equities, all these things as things come on chain. But right now, a lot of these tokens are in and out. I do think the meta is already shifting. Like a lot of the traders on FOMO have longer hold periods, meaning like hours and days, where obviously on Axiom, you're trying to buy 1% of the token right away and then dump it. And I think people are just kind of getting burned out and playing that same game. So yeah, then go back to trending. So on here, we have like a unique trending page, which kind of tokens that have the highest volume in a short time period, you could find easily here. As you could see, the chain behind them are abstracted. If you click on any of the tokens, you could then see like an indication like that token's on base, as you see up here, and find out in the about section too. So let's say I find this token on trending. I see a couple of my friends are holding it. Now I could see everyone on the platform that's holding it and their exact notional balance. So, and you could put comments too. So let's say this top holder, right, Mac Cap, if you click on his trade, now you get this beautiful half sheet. And these are extremely powerful. I think every other trading app has always atomized the atomic unit was the swap. So it's like this person bought this person sold this, but it's a really confusing view. So what we did is we made the atomic unit on the platform a trade. So this person actually only has 2 transactions. Are they just both buys? Yeah, and they're probably right next to each other, which is why you can't see it. But we can show you later on. You'll see all of the buys and sells on the chart relative to each other. You could easily track that, and then you could share it. So if you hit share, we generate these share cards that then you could share on all those social media platforms. This one doesn't have it, but we're gonna do like a lot of different versions of share cards in the future. We already have one called a fumble card, where if you like sell too early and then the token price rips, it's in red, and then like you fumbled, and like I like bought Launchcoin at I bought like $100 of Launchcoin at 500K. And then when it went to 200 mil, I lost down like 150K. And like these are like off of $100, right? So these viral moments that you can easily share in the app. So then you go to the user's profile.
I just want to show an example of the fumble card.
Yeah, that's a fumble
so
card.
Like,
so this guy missed out on 10K.
You know, they ended up selling at 3.3 mil. It goes to 6.3 mil, which is currently what it is. And you can see what you missed out on. So one of the cool things here is like...
That's cool, you made this. You have a referral here.
Yeah, archetype demo referral if you guys want to get 10% off. But essentially, and that goes to me, not to them, but maybe I'll be nice and share. But essentially what we're trying to do here is like, there's a lot of people who I think maybe get into coins very early, they end up selling, and they have no idea that, you know, there was all this profit left on the table. So it's kind of priming them like, hey, like you've made this opportunity one time, maybe you didn't cash out on this trade, but you have the opportunity to spot these things early. And that should be something that like self-reinforcing, right? You should feel like, hey, I did it one time, I can do it again. There's something about this trade that, you know, fundamentally I thought was the right thing. How do you kind of apply that over and over again and let this be a game where you continue to develop rather than just regress or stay in the same place?
So yeah, what we're starting to realize is this reflective process where you can come onto the platform. Like my dad, he like wanted to know what I was up to. He downloaded the app a few months ago. He put $1,000 in the platform, and he made $5K in a month. And he's 72 years old and never held crypto. And it's actually insane. Like he actually 5x his money. He didn't ask me for any advice, but what he started to do is he started to follow top traders. He used to play poker, and he's really good at like learning, right? So he follows top traders. He sees their trading patterns. He realizes that he held a token and then it dumped. So he's recognizing these patterns as making him a better trader. And then over time, people who come to the platform for the first time, they have no clue what's going on. They can learn from the best, and then they become the best traders on the platform. And I think you have this reflexive process where we're starting to see people have more followers on FOMO than they do even on X, and you're creating this new creator economy. And it's a special one because like a lot of people are loyal to YouTube because they became creators like Mr. Beast, right? He like obviously built a whole career, could be one of the wealthiest people on the planet eventually. But what's weird about YouTube is like if you're a viewer of a YouTuber, it doesn't make you a great YouTuber eventually, right? It takes like a specific archetype. But I really do think that on FOMO, like if you study someone's trading patterns and use these tools to learn, you eventually could become a top trader. And I think once we have like 10 to 15 to 100 people who are native creators of FOMO, that's when the social flywheel really starts to kick off.
Yeah, one thing that's super cool is like right now, actually, we have about 100,000 users and 80% of those are normies. So we have 40 to 50 content creators that we manage directly that do UGC. They do anywhere from 3 to 6 million impressions a month. And the reason we're able to see that these are normies is like their trading behavior and their on-ramp method. So if you go to deposit, let's say you're a new user, you click on Apple Pay and you have all these assets. I think that a lot of people, like when they say Apple Pay, they really mean open up a page, kick you out to another browser, put in your email, verify your information, check your ID, and then you can Apple Pay, right? When we say Apple Pay, we really mean you come onto this page, you pick the asset that you want, you select the amount that you want, and on the bottom, you actually see it says 0 fees right there. So this is first-time users, no matter who you are, you get 0 fees. We cover the on-ramp fees because we think that this should be an enjoyable experience where you don't lose 5 to 7% immediately. You click on Apple Pay, and you double tap. And it's a really special process because, you know, this process end to end takes roughly 30 seconds, right? It's unlike anything else you've ever seen because I think a lot of other places what ends up happening is like you go through the process, you're really excited to do it, and then you get into all these hurdles, right? You need to put in your information, you need to wait for the partner to verify, you need to do X, Y, Z. This was straight from my debit card in literally 30 seconds. You could have done this end to end, brand new account, and I can even go.
This is the experience of a new user, by the way. We didn't put in any identification information before this. Like you hit Apple ID, get into the app. This was the first experience they see.
And then I can just go like, you know, pudgy forever. Like, you know, I like it, so I go post it. And what I've done now is I'm a new user. I've onboarded another $100 to the platform. If I go to my profile, I can actually see I have one trade. I have, you know, this spike in balance because I onboarded money before I got here, and $100 of Pengu sitting right here. I click it. There's a little comment. You can see my entry, and it's something that you can toggle back and forth between different views. I can share it. I can edit my thesis, and it's truly the easiest way to onboard somebody to crypto. Because now, like, you know, you're on the platform and you actually see my balance just went up by $10. And if I had my notifications on, you would see that I just actually got a $10 deposit bonus. So this is something we work directly with the Pengu team with. They give $10 to anybody who actually comes and buys Apple Pay for Pengu for the first time. And it's this experience where now you're a new user, you're instantly up 10%, and you have a really good experience of, okay, what do I do next and how do I discover? So going through the rest of this page, this is your home tab. This is where you land when you first come. You can notice a lot of things on this page. One is deposit button, very prominent. We want people to be able to get to this very easily. 2, you have these feature sections where you have BNB coins and base coins. We've worked directly with the BNB and Base Foundation to be able to sponsor these coins and give free trading for the month of October. You see weekly trades here. So you can see who are the top traders of this week and what have they done. You can actually click on each one of these, see exactly where they executed their trades, look into every single transaction if you'd like. And you can even share their trade with your own referral link if you wanted to share it to a friend. Then you move over and there's a Hall of Fame section. So you can see these are trades that are lifetime outside of this week that have performed the best. So you can see Andy over here, he did a $213,000 trade where, you know, he bought here, he sold here, and you can actually go back and forth on the haptics and see exactly, you know, what the buys and sells were, which are really cool.
If you go to a smaller time period in the other graph, it's easier to see that.
Yep. And then moving down, there's like, you know, these other sections, there's verified, trending, most seller graduated. Obviously, these are all based off of your own preference. Verified is typically where you might see some of these major assets. There's friend icons you can see. So these are people that I follow and I can see directly that they're holders of this token immediately. Trending is an algorithm across all 3 chains, Base, Solana, and BNB. Most held is what are the most held tokens on this platform. So right now you can see it's this token game. If I click on it, I'm actually able to see all of the holders of this token. So you can actually see the Virtuals co-founder. He holds about 550K of this token on the platform. He has a thesis there. And then there's a bunch of other people who also hold a good amount of this token on the platform. And then, as we alluded to earlier, in the About section, you can kind of see all the details, transactions, holders, stats, contract address, and just get more information about the token generally. And at the top, you actually see there's like a grayed out that's probably important. You can see there's a grayed out base logo there, which is just informing you if you want to know what chain it's on. But we typically think like you shouldn't have to know what asset you're trading assets on or what blockchain. You should be able to fungibly go between Base, BNB, Solana, Monad, Mega ETH, like whatever it might be, and do it very seamlessly. So the trade that I showed you was actually for a Solana token. I'll show you what it looks like for a Base token. So right now, let's say I want to go here, I want to buy $1,000. If I click this tab right here, it'll show me all of the issues. So you can see here, like there's a big price impact. Maybe this is a Virtuals related issue. Maybe this is some other routing issue, but it lets me know right away, like, hey, you have some percent impact. So I go, okay, well, I don't want to buy that token. Let me go look at another one. I'll click on Troll and I'll click, I want to buy $1,000 this one. It tells me, okay, well, you actually have 0.57%. That's comfortable. So I'll slide it. And then almost immediately you've bought it. So imagine all the steps you would have to take to do this on any other app. We've done all of that, abstracted it away. We cover your gas fees, we cover your priority fees, we cover your token rent, and we cover bridging fees. So it's something that's very, very seamless end to end. And you can see right here, I can track it. And then maybe you want to talk about the other sections of this app here?
Yeah, sure. This next section is leaderboards and friends. So friends is just a list of all your friends on the platform, people who you follow, ranked by P&L. At the bottom, there should be discover new friends. You probably follow a lot of people, so I don't know if it's, and there's like more people to discover. Mostly done by P&L, but we're starting to onboard groups of people. So then you try to get, I think the most important thing is like following top traders, because it obviously is a financialized platform. But over time, you want to bring like real world groups in here, because like if people are friends, they're more likely to stay on the platform. And we're doing a lot in the near future to increase social stickiness, and some of the social features we have planned are really exciting. And then there's leaderboard, which is like where most people spend their time here. It's crazy because like once in a while there might be like an indexing issue, and like we'll have traders message us like, I should be on the leaderboard, but I'm not. Like people really care about this, and it's part of the social cloud of the platform. Like people really care. And it's an amazing thing where we have a 24/7 day, 30-day, and all-time leaderboard. It's currently indexed cross-platform, right? I think, we just built it so it's cross-platform, so across P&L on all assets. And this is a really great way to discover traders. And the leaderboard is really important for the next tab, which is our feed. So the one thing we've noticed very early on is that social feeds are very noisy in crypto, and not even crypto, just all social financial products. So eToro, Webull, and like even some apps in crypto, it's like this person minted this NFT, this person bought 0.05 worth of ETH worth of this, but no one cares about that. You want to be very high signal. So we have a proprietary algorithm that keeps this very high notional. Usually there's a lot of green here. There's some red because the FOMC stuff recently. But you see people's buys and sells. If like 40 people enter a trade, you'll see like 40 people entered a trade, and you'll be able to say they bought or sold it, and you'll be able to kind of follow the momentum there. You discover new traders, discover new assets here, and we prioritize people who have history of being good traders. So if you're a top 10 trader on our 7-day, 30-day all-time leaderboard, you're more likely to show up more on the feed, and it just holds people accountable. And it's funny because like some people are like often talk about like, oh, like, are you actually holding this? Someone will tell you to buy a token, but what FOMO allows is for full accountability. We have a lot planned to make the feed better. We're shipping next week a friends-only feed, so it'll only be a list of people you follow. We'll also allow for certain filters there, and we'll continue to update the algorithm over time to be higher and higher signal. This is a short tab. It's our referral program, which if you refer anyone on the platform, we give you 25% of all fees they pay us. And then we also give the user who uses that referral code 10% off fees. And
this has to be somebody in here.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Thank you for being a user.
And then, as he trades more, you'll earn in that tab. And then the final thing is profiles, and it's the same thing as the other profile for someone else. You just have your own profile here. You could see all of your open positions. Maybe you want to go to someone else's profile so you can see the closed positions. Yeah, so you can track here everyone's open positions, all the closed positions they've ever made, and then you can rank them by top trades or by recent. And then you could easily share these with other people, which is really cool. And then go back to your profile. And then under cash balance, we allow a few different withdrawal mechanisms. So we have send, which allows you to send anyone on FOMO. So just like on the other person's profile next to the follow button, there's a send feature, which I'll get to in a second. There's deposit, which leads you back to the same deposit flow as we mentioned before. And then there's withdraw. And the withdrawal flow, it does require you to do KYC one time. But once you do that KYC, we have a fully native bank account withdrawal within an app. And it's a really beautiful experience. You don't have it set up here, I assume. But you just put in your routing and checking number one time, and then after that, you can just very easily click the bank account whenever you want and withdraw. And like I've been going here instead of Coinbase. Coinbase blocked my account about a year ago for no reason, so I can't use Coinbase. I never onboarded Kraken, so I just use FOMO. And we're about to have pull bank account deposits within the next month. So it won't be like push, you have to go to your bank account. You'll be able to pull funds using the same routing and account number here. And that's really important because I think people go to sports betting apps, and if you go to like a traditional stock brokerage, you're depositing from bank account larger numbers, right? Probably either via USDC directly or bank account, not off your credit card. So once we have that, I assume it'll be one of the primary things here. This is Bogdan, is that your name? All right, why don't we send Bogdan $50?
I just said we send them $100.
Oh, all right, well, now you have $100. There you go.
So that's why it's really cool because, you know, let's say like, you know, Paul and I have lunch and I'm like,
confirm the receipt.
Yeah. So it's really cool because like crypto doesn't have a way right now where like you can even send people money, right? So I have to go ask you for your, I have to go ask you for your public key. You have to give it to me. I have to double check, send you a test transaction. But let's say me and Paul, like, you know, we go get coffee and I'm like, hey, how much do I owe you? And he's like, no, don't pay me. I just find them here. I click send. I'm like, here's $5. You know, hopefully that covers the coffee.
Already.
Probably not, but it's already sent.
And
it's
we
in his
cover
wallet.
gas fees, so it's free. And yeah, and this is only on cash balance right now. Soon this will be live on every single verified token on FOMO. So if you want to send any crypto token to your friend, Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever you want, you'll be able to do that instantaneously here. You won't need a like public key string. You won't need to hunt it down on a block explorer. If you do a deposit or a send on our app, sometimes if you withdraw from Phantom to deposit on FOMO, the deposit on FOMO will hit before you get the notification of the withdrawal on Phantom. So it's really instantaneous here too.
Yeah, and then the last thing to touch on is, you know, there's a lot of coins that launch and there's all these tickers, there's all these coin addresses. And if you're trading at this frequency where it's like every second, every minute counts, you want to be able to do this quickly. So one of the things that we've really prioritized here is indexing for search. So let's say a token comes out and, you know, you need to go find your Telegram chat, your Twitter, you need to find it on Deck Screener, paste it. On FOMO, we actually do this indexing where you can look for it by name, even if it's just launched even 15 seconds ago. So let's say, I don't know, what's a coin that launched recently?
Clanker?
No, that's very old.
Yeah.
Anybody have a token they've traded today?
Okay.
What is it?
Okay.
So I just go look up like pump Cade and it's right there. I don't need to type in the contract address. Just click it. I can see all the information I need. You can see like, you know, some people have a lot of money.
He owns a lot of it.
Yeah, you can see it off different time frames and I can even favorite it here. So it's the little things that we optimize for as we think user experience is actually 100x issue. Tech has been getting better and better every year. I think a lot of this will continue to get commoditized, whether it's spot, perps, prediction markets, borrow lending. But UX is really the key here to actually get more people into the space. And it's something that I think a lot of people have overlooked. But yeah, we want to build this app so that whether you've been in crypto for 10 years or 10 minutes, you can use very easily. And that's super important for us to continue to expand this market over time.
I think two other things to touch on really quick is our execution. So we know that this has to be like a really great UX and for new users to use it, but you also want pro traders on here and they expect the best execution. So we have a multi-router solution, so we always get the best prices for our user. It is the least MEV'd app on the market. We route to multiple liquidity pools, so we're always getting the best price and you're not getting sandwiched. And we're improving our execution speeds dramatically. Obviously, every single trade you're bridging to a new chain and executing, but we think we can get this down to almost instantaneous. We're working with a partner there to do optimistic fills. And then the other thing to touch on is the scams and the scam warnings, because I think fraud is a huge issue in crypto. And you go to any of these exchanges, like some wallets have some fraud warnings, but it's kind of a whack-a-mole game where you like solve some of the issues, and the nefarious actors who are incentivized are always going to try new things. And I really believe it's kind of ambitious, but I think we're going to like solve 95% of the scam issues in a year. And we have improved our scam warnings significantly on FOMO. So like, for example, you go to buy this token, you realize it's a scam. The creator has history of scamming. It's an unverified token. We'll even let you buy this one. Like this one will let you buy, but it gives those warnings. Then you have to like double click. I understand the risks. There are some that are fully freezable or full honeypots that we don't even let you buy. So the goal is to protect retail here. And I think as more people trade these coins, you really need to protect people. We also have this graduated section. So these are tokens that are brand new off the bonding curves. And obviously there's additional warnings there as well. So you want to prioritize user education so they know what they're getting into, especially these highly volatile new assets. But then also there's a lot of just like honeypots, freezable tokens, etc. And warning users is really important here. So yeah, that's something we'll prioritize over time to make this the safest place to trade as well. Yeah, that's it.